It's the end of the year, and we have some pretty interesting choices from Netflix of shows that we're getting. I mean, this 31st, we are getting, well, actually the first, but you know what I mean. We're actually getting Sabrina, and we're getting Cobra Kai, and now we have Bridgerton as well. Bridgerton, let's talk about that ending. I will be making videos on Cobra Kai as well, and Sabrina, so if you want to know when those videos drop, you got to make sure you're subscribed. We're on the road to 18,000. My goal, my friends, is we get to 18,000 on the first. That would be amazing. Hopefully we can do that. So make sure you like, comment, share, all that good stuff, and make sure that you're subscribed and tell everybody else out as well. Now, I think that this is one of the most talked about Netflix series releases of 2020, and it's crazy because we're just at the end of 2020, but it's giving me these Tiger King vibes because we keep seeing it on Twitter and people are talking about it and people are just relishing in it. And it's sort of like the 365 days effect, I want to say. But this is actually not that bad. So Bridgerton is set during the Regency era of England. And what we have here is we have a Gossip Girl type show where there is a mysterious figure writing everything down, but we don't know who. And pretty much the central story, I guess you could say, the main plot of it all is we follow Simon and Daphne and their romance that's not meant to be, but they want it to be, but then they don't want it to be. And it's just a lot of all of this going on because we have a couple that it starts off a little bit and then we start seeing that spark and it starts going and going and we start seeing this flame and it's spewing, and by the time it's just like everywhere and just roaring flame all around, we start getting our little problems here and there, and that's pretty much what we start seeing by the end of the season as well. So one of the big things between them is that they end up getting married, they end up falling in love, and now there is this situation that Daphne is wanting a family. She's wanting to grow with Simon, and what happens is Simon's like, let's pump the brakes because I can't have kids. And so she pretty much thinks it's sort of a biological thing and it's like something he can't control, and might be a little disappointed about it, but this is the person she loves, right? So it's like, okay, well, it's not that he can't have children, it's that he's choosing not to have children. And the reason behind that is because it was a promise that he made to his father. And it wasn't to be sort of like, it's not a noble thing or anything like that. It's because he wants revenge on his father for being a neglectful father and all of this. And so he's like, I'm going to let the name die with me. I'm not passing the name down. The name will be forgotten. And that's because you were pretty much a dick. So that's the reason that Simon doesn't want kids. Daphne finds this out at the end. She is a little distraught. Why wouldn't you be, right? You have this whole belief in your head of why this one man that you love doesn't want to have children, and then you find out the truth. It's going to put a little damp in the relationship. But nonetheless, Simon realizes that, no, I'm going to have kids. And they end up having kids. So that's pretty much the end of the second season for these two and how their story does wrap up. We'll talk more about what's to come in season 2 in a future video, so stay tuned for that. And I'll probably remind you about this next video I'm making a couple more times throughout the episode right here I'm talking. So go ahead and subscribe while you're at it, because you know what? We're going to talk about it pretty soon. So another big thing that happened as well in this is that we pretty much find who Lady Whistledown is. And this is actually interesting because I've just found this out by seeing like everybody talk on Twitter about the show, because I mean that show is just everywhere right now. Like I said, there's a new Tiger King. And people are saying that you don't actually find out who Lady Whistledown's identity is in the books until the 4th book. So I found it interesting that season 1, it's already out there. Penelope Featherington is Lady Whistledown. Very much so a huge reveal And I'm wondering why the creative team, the writers, and everybody else decided that this was the best approach. And I have faith in them. I truly do. I think that they pulled off the show very well. The costumes, the cinematography, the shots, everything perfect. So if they're choosing to go this creative route, it's probably for a good reason. If you've read the books, let me know what you think about this choice. Do you think it was the best choice they could do, or do you think that it's going to ruin everything? I haven't read the books, so I'm not too sure, but I'm very curious to know if you've read the books, what you think about this. Yeah, Pen Featherington is Lady Whistledown. And Lady Whistledown is pretty much going around and writing everything that's happening in a little newsletter and just sort of putting everybody up to accountability and sort of just being like, this high society, look at what's going on in here. And I thought that that is something that's pretty interesting to see, and I would love to see unfold more into season 2. So Lord Featherington, of course, we have to talk about what happened. He did, and now his house is gone. And it's interesting to see that the people that actually took the house is somebody that the Featheringtons know, and it's kind of implied that it is, but we don't know who it is yet. So that's something that we're going to have to discuss in the season 2 theories as well, because I think that will be it's going to be a big reveal. It definitely is, just by the way that it's sort of being hyped in itself. And so I'm curious to see what is going to happen right there. The final shot with the bee. I mean, the bee can represent many things. I've seen on Twitter somebody post that the bee actually kills Lord Bridgerton, and this is the reason that Anthony has a morbid fear of bees. So it could be that they wanted to show that like little thing for people and who read the books. It could just be like a little Easter egg and all of that. But it is happening during the time that Daphne is giving birth, and I think that it definitely does represent sort of like how a bee works in a community, and it's part of a whole beehive, and it has to have everything working in order for like the queen and the whole hive itself to survive. And I think that's what it is that they sort of are in this like community where if something goes wrong with somebody, then everything starts falling apart. And I think that's something we're going to be seeing in the upcoming seasons, is sort of this whole like I don't know what the word is, but it's like when you poke a wheel and then all the other wheels just go on off. And I think Lady Whistledown has been doing like her part in this whole like disruption of the machine, if you will. That's just what I think, but we'll see what happens in the upcoming season to Bridgerton whenever that does roll around. I think we'll definitely get into the next 2 months an answer as to that, but you never know with Netflix, because On My Block season 4, I'm still waiting. We're about to get to a year when this came out and we still don't know. So it could happen in the next 2 months or maybe next year, but based on the popularity of the show, I'm pretty sure before the end of January, we will know when season 2 comes out. So keep your eyes peeled for that, or I'll let you know. So make sure you're subscribed here. But other than that, I think the biggest thing is, why did Simon change his mind? And I think the reason for that is very simple. I think he changed his mind because he realized that Daphne is this person that he loves, and now that his father's gone and he made this promise to that father, what does it matter what he does, right? Because he is sort of like hindering his own happiness in order to sort of have this revenge thing going on. But like, what does it matter, right? It has no meaning whatsoever. And so he realizes that, you know what, I don't care. I'm going to live my life. I'm going to be happy, and this is what I'm going to do. Have my family. So there's that. But anyways, I'm gonna leave it at this. I'm just wanted to talk about those few plot points. I know there's more to talk about, but we can talk about them in the season 2 video I'm gonna be making. So if you want that video, let's get to 100 likes. We'll drop that video. And anyways, let me know what you think about all of this, about Simon and Daphne, about Pen, about Lord Featherington, and everything else that happened in the show. Comment down your thoughts on that. If you read the books, how did you feel about the season, how they're adapting it? Is it good? Is it not? Very curious to know your thoughts. But anyways, make sure you follow me on Twitter, TikTok, Twitter will be nerdround at nerdround. TikTok is at Campfire Tales. Post mostly horror stuff on there. And make sure that you are subscribed to my channel here. Let's get to 18,000 subscribers. That is my goal by the end of the year. Would be so happy if we can actually reach that goal by the 1st of January. But I'm going to need your help. So hopefully we can get there. But I will be doing the Bridgerton season 2 theories probably, I would say, the 31st. So Thursday I'll have it out, as well as my top movies and top TV shows video out that same day as well. So make sure you're tuned in for that. Anyways, I'll see all of you next time. Hope all of you are staying safe and stay positive.